Shalom.
Shalom, sisters. Welcome back to Chair's Conversation.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Wow. All praises to the Most High. So, yeah, y'all. Remember the article we have put out? Actually, we didn't put it out, but there was an article floating around. I had seen this article on FB. Okay. I don't be on there too much, but when I'm on there, um, I pick up some things from the Hebrew family, you know what I'm saying? And some things on marriages and stuff. And there was this article out there. So we were just going to talk about what we take from that, how we feel about it. The article says, now it has four men in the picture. It has four men in the picture. All right. Five men in the picture, five grown men in the picture. And it says, every man around me paid their wives thousands before they could marry them. It says men in the Western world want to be the prize rather than the champions. This is why their women are divorcing them in high numbers because they want to be trophy husbands, not realizing that they have been broken like a lion that has been raised in a zoo. Okay. And because most men have been taught to depend on women financially for their survival. All right. It says no man can properly love, lead, and protect a woman if he sees himself as the prize and not the divine guardian of the prize. What I got off of that, because everything that we see with the spiritual, right? Not in the physical, not for any gossip, but because we're trying to come back to our roots, our culture, what does say the Most High, not just in one aspect, but in all aspects. But anyway, so what I got from it when it says every man around me paid their wives thousands before they could marry them. Now, mind you, we didn't read the comments of what they said. We ain't getting into all of that. But the gist of the comments was a lot of the Western men saying that these guys are simps, you know, because they paid their wives. They're looking at it in that kind of way, like you paid your wife. Why would you do that? But we took it back to what? Genesis. Is that what you were referring to? Took it back to Genesis. Okay, because people like to say also that we in our captivity, that's why we can't do certain stuff. The last time I checked, the Most High didn't pick and choose which laws he said to keep because he was going into captivity. Now, I do get that we're not in a place and time where we're going to be ruling, and have the things that we did have tangibly, financially, all them things that we did have back then. There's no sense, there's no community now. There's, all these things. We're in our captivity still. So I get that part. But at face value, the first thing I thought of when it says they paid their wives thousands before they could marry them. Now, remember in Genesis, okay, didn't y'all go to Genesis 24?
Genesis 24, 47, and then 53. And I asked her and said, whose daughter art thou? And she said, the daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face and the bracelets upon her hand. 53. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
But this was the servant of Abraham. If you read the story, the servant of Abraham, Abraham told his servant to go and find his son a wife among his people, right? And he didn't go empty-handed. He went, and when he found the one he was looking for, the lady he was looking for, he presented her, okay? He put earrings on her face, bracelets on her hands. He presented her with jewels, okay? Jewels. They didn't come empty-handed. And then it says he brought forth silver, jewels of gold, raiment, that's clothing. Okay. He was provide already showing that, you know, showing a form of I'm gaining a position. And you know what, you have to buy a position. You don't just, otherwise it's stealing, right? And then it says he also in verse 53, he says he also gave her brother and to her mother precious things. Okay. This is what they're talking about because remember, y'all, we did not grow up in our culture, in these laws. So we know nothing about these things. And I think this is called a dowry.
Hmm.
It's called a dowry. And this is not the only scripture. You had something, sis?
Oh, I have one, but it requires a certain situation regarding a man that seduces a virgin. And that's Exodus 22, verse 16. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be
Oh.
his wife.
Mm. That's straight to the point. That should have been the first one we brought out. The water says the water. So again, I just thought it was interesting looking at this article, right? Because in the Western world, we do things completely different. This is the cesspool full of nonsense and backwardness. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep us doing everything we're not supposed to be doing. But a lot of other cultures, when you step outside of this continent, right? This plate over here, they over there, we've heard of the arranged marriages. We've heard of
Mm-hmm.
the bride, what do you call it? The bride price or the dowry,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it ain't even gotta be monetarily. A lot of them will give um a cattle if they have cattle, what you say, Sister Chantel?
Land.
Time, time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is what they give to the Father. And for name whatever reason you want. But again, we're just showing you in the book, this is what we did, okay, in our culture. So it sounds foreign to us, but this is our culture. Okay, so I think somebody says, or it might say in the book, that they're doing this one reason because you are taking away I don't want to say like a servant of the house, but you're taking away a help from him. We are a help to our under our father's house, then we are help meet to our husband. So until then, you're taking that away. So it's like y'all take it back. Like just think about it. Even if you can't fathom that thought yet, okay, that they had to pay, they had to give some type of tangible something to prove to my parents that they could provide for me and I'm gonna be well off and good, and you bout something, right? First being the laws and statutes, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Back in the day, back not too long in the day, before brother so and so stepped to me talking about he want to take me anywhere or date me or whatever it is he's trying to do, what he had to do first back in the day? back in the day.
Go to the
He had
parents.
he had to
And you
he
had
had
to
to
meet the
come
parents.
he had to come correct. Like that was an actual
Yep.
thing. Like today, that's nowhere to be found. And so I thought I had really liked this article because we need to take it way back. We need to take it way back.
You know, my daughter is married. She got married in the truth, been married, got married young, like 18. And anyway, my point is what you were saying about the dowry. So of course her husband is not well off. We're in, captivity, and you know how finances are for us over here. But
Right.
before he had married her, he had did things like cut my yard, um, paint my house. Like so he put in physical
Or
labor around my house to show his desire to marry my daughter. So he didn't give me like
Oh,
money, thousands of dollars like these brothers did. It was out of
okay.
his means, but instead
Fine.
he did like work, like physical work in return prior to marrying my daughter.
Fine.
And of course
oh,
we were in the truth. So that's just an example of quote unquote
Fine.
dowry, but how it works um
Fine.
could work.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why we started off saying, yes, we are in captivity. So it's certain things that we don't have the access to, and all these other things, but we don't want to take away the mindset that this is some foreign thing. You know, any possession you get, you gain it somehow. The also the precept to that was Genesis. Sis, if you could grab Genesis 29, verse 18.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, "Oh, Khan, I will
yep.
serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter."
Women coming back into our culture and this truth. These are the things that we should desire. You should want them. And you know how the what is it? Even the animals, even them lions out there be fighting over who gonna get the female. You know what I'm saying? And it's a show of power. It's a show of wealth. It's a show of you know you the prize is to be won, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm proving to the parents, I'm proving to this woman that I really want her, you know,
That's true. And you can learn a lot from the animal kingdom. Like the male peacocks, they the ones that open up their feathers. They're
open
the
up the
ones that, I
feathers,
mean, and they just turn around and the female be
dancing.
standing there. I'm like, it's fascinating to me to
Hmm.
see that. You learn a lot.
It
And
is. You are so
even
right.
down and even down to Genesis too, when Yah commanded Adam to, till the ground, fill the earth, subdue it. It's the man putting forth the effort to make an impression.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this was before even Eve was brought forth.
Right.
He had to prepare things for, not
Good
only for
point.
her, but for himself.
Good
And
point.
yeah, it's
Good point. Good point.
yeah.
The book says that the woman is like a ruby, the wife is a ruby. Who can find you know, this virtue. Who can find it? You ain't just stumbling upon it, but that's how you
Mhm.
bring families together. That's how you bring wealth together. That's how you grow. That's how you build. You know, it's going in the family. It's still in the family.
Um,
The second one I wanted to bring out when he said in the Western world, men want to be the prize rather than the champion. So we kind of started divulging into that, being that the woman is the ruby. The last time and that a lot of the husbands want to be trophy husbands, and they depend financially on the woman, but they should be the guardians of the prize instead of wanting to be the prize. Any thoughts on that one?
hmm.
A lot of brothers, even in this walk, I hate to say it, say that, tell us that they are the prize. They're the prize, and so it always makes me think about the scripture that says, "He who finds a wife finds favor in the Lord." Like you finding a wife get favor because of your wife,
Right.
Right.
and there's
Right.
a scripture in Sirach that says that he that gets a wife begetteth a possession. right? And I know you mentioned
Possession.
possession when it came to like paying the dowry as well, not stealing and actually owning. Well, I won't say owning, but you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
possessing something that's yourself, but it said he that gets a wife beget a possession in Sirach 36:24, a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. So when you talk about like the Western men thinking they're the prize instead of the champion, you're really a champ if you can own, if you can possess, and if you can have that pillar of rest. Like it's more to it. It's more solid than just being the prize. Like, oh, I'm the prize, I have to do nothing else. But being a champion, you have expectations, you have like a foundation or something you need to be doing and standing on to be a
Mm,
champion.
mm, mm. Which which brings me to the example I was gonna make, is exactly that's what I thought he was saying here. Okay. That's what I got from what he was saying here. Because what? When you win, let's say you run in the marathon now, they have the Olympics going. I don't watch it. But you run in the marathon, what they winning at the end of the day? What does the champion win?
The gold.
The gold prize.
Hmm.
Some of them things be having diamonds and rubies, I don't know, in it, wherever, whatever arena you're in. But they win the gold, they win the prize. They're not the prize, they win the prize. And that's how it is when you stumble upon, not stumble upon, but when the Most High leads you so you could find one of them rubies when he guides your footsteps. You're the champion, so you got God that prize. You ain't think them people are winning them prizes, God, and that thing with their life. They probably have it up in a safe somewhere in a bank, in their vault, ain't just hanging up in the garage someplace, catching dust. They probably shine it. You could tell when a man treasures his possession, he will do what he need to protect it, right? So
That's
how are
right.
you the prize? When the book says, let's bring out Proverbs 31 and 10, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies, right?
Time. Hmm.
You sure if you could bring up Proverbs 18:22 to land back off of that?
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord.
Time. And then we could keep pulling them all day long. Again, we need to get back into our roles because once we start to see that we are prized possessions, we will start to act as such and require such and not just fall for all of this stuff the world trying to push at us. Date, lay down, kiss this frog and that frog and all that other stuff. No, you know what I'm saying? No, we are prized waiting to be won. Can anybody just come up and snatch this thing? You know, what You're so silly. With Proverbs 12 and 4. Proverbs 12 and 4, if you could read that, sis.
A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones.
A virtuous woman, ye who ye shall find, most high willing, what you were saying earlier, if he bless you, what it says, he who obtained favor, you obtain favor of the most high, he will give you this virtuous woman, right? This prize, this ruby. It says she is a crown, a crown. What a crown have in it? The last time I checked. Okay. That crown be gold, not gold plated, they be gold. We like to put on fake ones now, trying to be like, and it'd be cool. We be rocking it. We make everything look good, but it's like a crown now. Okay. Having like jewels in it, diamonds, studs. Like, come on now. Come on.
Hmm.
Come on. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. So I don't know where the saying come from that the man is the prize. He should be the champion of the prize, the protector of the prize, because we both have a role to play. We can't both be prizes. like back like back in high school and stuff when you have your, again, this was in the world, but it's an example. You see how like you have your little boyfriend or whatever it is that he's you know I I never did this either, but I see people doing it like in high school when a boy and a girl dating or whatever it is. He how do you know they dating? How do you know? He want to put a possession. He want to make it known to everybody. So what he do?
You show her
Give a
off.
jacket,
Give her the jacket, give her
Yep.
his nameplate, his gold chain or something. So
t-shirt, you
y'all
name
don't
it.
remember that?
Yes. You show her off.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So when we say that we're going back to our culture, okay, the rubies we want to be these rare rubies, okay? These possessions that are only given to a few. We're talking about we come in with a level of understanding, a level of grace, submissiveness, all these attributes. The Proverbs 31, she's well working with her hands, all these things. Attentive, soft-spoken, you know, all these things. This is what the ruby does. Shamefaced, right? Kind. So you
And
are
what
bringing something to the table. You got to say,
and I was gonna say, it made me think about Vashti.
Vashti? Yeah.
Me trying to
Oh.
remember names, Vashti. Her husband wanted to show her off when you're talking about being the prize. Yeah, he's the king, but at the same time, he knows that his wife is his prize. He wanted her to be, shown off in front of everyone, for her beauty, of course. I'm sure there were other things, but that was his prize. Although he was the king, the champion,
Right.
in a sense. So,
Kind.
This may be a little bit off subject, but nowadays the women are or don't want to be submissive and the men don't want to commit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's why we have these topics, and that's what we're talking about tonight, is that we both been broken. We both been mentally abused and, just trampled through. So we both have to come in order for this to work. Okay. They got work to do on their part in committing, right? And realizing that you can't there's a saying that says if you're not ready to make her a wife, don't make her a baby mama. If you're not ready to make her a
Mm-hmm.
wife, don't make her a baby mama. So, because this generation, and the one before us is like everything is just what's that saying? You're putting the cart before the horse. We're putting the cart before the horse. That's what is happening, which is so backwards.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
this article actually proves what Sister Chantel just said, right? The women don't want to be submissive because the men don't see them as the prize, and the
Mm, well,
men don't want to commit because they're not in a mindset of having possessions or how,
oh,
so we do got to go back to the beginning. So they don't understand why would
oh
they
goodness.
commit to something that they didn't even invest in to begin with.
Invest into mm. It's an invest. Why is everything else an investment but your wife? It's the biggest investment that you have because you give her the house, she gonna multiply it and plenish it and bring it up and keep it up and all this stuff. You bring home the bread, she gonna make sure that she nourish you and keep you, you know, all the days of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest investment. She the one that bringing forth children through her womb, so you can increase. But concepts, I like what you said exactly.
we we like you said, we're far gone, and a lot of people misconstrue what the scriptures say. Like a lot of males, I'm not making a male and female thing, but a lot of men cut themselves at the feet because they don't utilize the thing that the Most High gave them to persevere in a walk, because he gave us to them to help them. A lot of them don't accept the help from their wife. Like they're like, "Oh, you need to be silent. You can't say anything." But sometimes the Most High give the woman some form of wisdom that can bring stuff to the table, because my husband utilized me all the time. You know, he respects the fact that I am his prize and that the Most High gave me to him to help him. A lot of men don't accept the help from their wives, and some women too. We could be stuck in our ways as well. You know, we got to get back. We got to learn. It's about learning. He said you're gonna go into that land that your forefathers have never known, and you're gonna relearn everything that I had gave y'all because y'all were disobedient. That's why
Right.
when they put this back and forth, I'm like, we are a destroyed nation of people that has
Yeah.
to be healed, and that's only going to be through Yahweh Shai. We can start it, but through him, everything it's going to come back to where it need to be. But we have to start it, and everybody has to see they're wrong and what we need to do.
Right. Right. Both
Yeah,
parties have to be conscious,
yeah,
agreed. Both parties have to be held accountable. But in order for you to see that, it says to look at yourself and
correct.
evaluate yourself.
Yeah,
And we
correct.
can't do that if we're not evaluating ourselves and comparing ourselves, lining up to the scriptures. Because what else are you comparing yourself to? His
Yes,
word.
and there's a lot of that going on, and I see in a lot of camps, a lot of the men are harsh to their wives. I'm like, wow, this is a gift the Most High gave you. You know what I mean? You can't, I mean, you can be that way, but at the end of the day, everybody gets dealt with according to their works and the
Right.
things that they do to the people that the Most High blessed you with.
Right. Yeah. The
But
book
that,
says do not deal harshly with the wife of your youth. Come on. There's a way.
And it's
exactly.
There's an answer for
time.
everything. He
Yeah.
And
tells us, you got it.
I'm sorry, y'all. And it's and men in this awakening don't realize how powerful our role is, and it's not to overstep them. We were made to be a mirror, like Hebraically, ish in a isha means a wall.
Oh,
We're a reflection of our. We are made to be a reflection of our husbands, and
oh,
also to keep them in line with the Father, because at the end of the day, they were made first, and they are
Right.
the companion.
Right.
It's powerful to the point where if your husband even not treat you right, it hinders his prayers.
Yes. Yeah.
oh,
A lot of
Right.
men don't talk about that in this awakening. They always talk about what the things that we should be doing, but no, y'all need to pay attention to the things y'all need to be doing, because y'all were made first. Y'all are y'all's companion. And if he made something to be a mirror image of you, and you're not taking the time out to appreciate that, you're hindering your prayers. When I read
Exactly.
that, I was like, whoa.
I was trying to find that scripture to reference which you was
1 Peter 3:7.
okay.
Likewise,
Thank
ye
you.
husbands, dwell with your wives with understanding, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being hearers together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right.
uh, uh,
Right. Being heirs together,
Right.
mirror image.
Right. Because
uh,
it goes back to what we were saying earlier. What is poured into us is what you will get, you know, and vice versa. What are we pouring into our husbands, you know? It's just like pouring into your garden. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer you're feeding it, if you're watering it or not, it'll all depend. That will all you will see the fruits or not thereafter. You know what I'm saying? The last thing they said was that I wanted to touch on was that the fact that a lot of the men depend on the women financially. Um, and that is her role to to what is it? They say a lot of people say it's 50-50 financially.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm gonna let the books speak. Because If your husband allows you to work, that's fine and good, but it is not your position to provide. And I just wanted to pull that out real quick because a lot of women coming out of the world being the breadwinner, being the one that had to provide and take care of the kids and the bills and all this stuff. And now you're trying to get married, you still married, but you're still bringing this mindset into the marriage. It's hindering the marriage or hindering the relationship, even if you're not married. It's hindering your relationship, period. Maybe with your leadership or whatever in your courtship, because you still have this mindset of, I am to provide. I'm, I'm here with you. I'm 50-50. I could pull the bag too. Okay. But again, it says that men depend on a woman financially. Now they were saying this, these are men that are providing for their wives fully. They want the women to stay at home. And I know a lot of brothers doing this today. If you can, again, in this captivity, because again, we're in our captivity, sometimes the woman does have to go out and work, but she's not the provider. She is helping, right? Genesis 2:15. I think Sister Chantel had touched on this earlier. It says, the Most High God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Was it you, Sister Devada, that was talking about that earlier?
Yeah.
He was the first,
Yeah.
he was made and created to dress it and keep it. It's just like the elder had said, like, it's the man's job to make sure there's a foundation set here, four walls and a roof. Okay, before you go out there talking about you want a wife. What was the old saying? You don't have a pot or a window to throw it out of, but you're looking for a girl.
Right?
But you don't have a pot to piss in and oh, that's what it is, a pot to piss in and
To
a
piss
window to
in the
throw it out,
window, throw it out of.
you know, which
Yeah.
means that you making sure as a man, because no man wants to be emasculated when the woman, and we have a lot of this going on, and I even did it. Okay. I even did it. This is my house. I got it myself, right? Man comes in or whatever it is, stay together, and when an argument hit, get out my house. It is my house. Is my name on the deed, you know? And so I felt in that time, not knowing what I know now, but I felt in that time, and this is what a lot of people are still putting the woman through right now, even in the truth. But I felt at the time in my mind, this is what the book says, because it says this, a woman, if she maintains her husband, will be of much reproach. I was the one making sure we had the house, the roof. That's backwards. And he was just helping me with the bills. Our women are doing that a lot today. The man is helping with the bills. Oh, he give me, something for child support.
That's why we got to keep these laws, because you got single parent
Hmm.
households now. The moms raising these brothers, and then they get in trouble with the law. They can't purchase homes. They don't understand how to do all that. They can't get an apartment to rent out, and then the moms, just catering to their sons all the way up through to their grown, and so all they do know how to do is to live off and depend on women. That's why they got to get back to these laws and understand their place as men. And even if they're adult men, and we don't really like to speak on the men, but the sisters with sons, get back to grandmas too. Get back to this word, so that you know how to raise your son, so that he can stay out of trouble, and he can learn how to establish a foundation, and
Right.
have that.
That's what it's about. It's First Timothy 5 and 8.
It says, but if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
All right. So again, we don't get on the men here at Chase Conversations, but we have to bring out these precepts because it goes hand in hand. These scriptures, because we need to find out our place. as women. The provider. The provider is somebody. It ain't you. And if he provides not for his house, he's worse than an infidel. You should expect this from the one you're courting. You should expect this from the one you're married to. You should expect this from your future husband. You expect it from your father. You know your father's going to provide for you. I hope so, right? He's providing a roof, food, clothes, everything you need. Hot boiling water, Ishanta. Okay? He providing all them things. Okay. And so when you go under the roof of the one you courting and the one you be married to, he should provide in those things. This is why we started off in the beginning when he gave her jewels, bangles. He was already showing her just a little something, something. Yeah, the man you I gonna take you to, he got even more for you. He got even more for you. He gonna set you up. You're gonna be good. You just gotta come in. I got this foundation. He got 4 walls. He even got 2 levels. You know what I'm saying? It got 2 levels. It's a tiny house, but it got 2 levels. And I need you to come in there and put some potpourri in the air and dress up the walls, make it look nice. You know what I'm saying? As the woman do. Come make me a hot plate because my mother teach me how to cook, but I don't know how to make bread and all that stuff. Cook me some leavened bread. This is what you know what I'm saying? We need to know our places here. Because when we come together, can't nothing stop it. You know what I'm saying? But we out of whack right now. But because when a woman is put in the position of providing for a man, it emasculates the man. And then in turn, you start getting in your emotions and your feelings. A man should not be doing that. And then in turn, what do you call the word? A woman comes less feminine when she's put in a masculine role. And a masculine role is to provide. So if she have to provide for you, you're taken away from her femininity. Okay? You're taken away from her femininity if she have to provide. The Bible does not say the woman provides. It does not say 50-50. It does not. Again, not saying that the woman can't work or nothing like that, but we have to let the men be the men from day one, and don't settle for nothing else, or we would not be in a lot of these predicaments if we would take the time to say, you know what? If it take you a year to build a house, I'll see you in a year. Okay? If it take you a year to keep these law, statutes, and commandments, and I see you on every occasion on the high holy days, come back a year, we'll see you. You could talk to my father then. But until then, you ain't giving yourself away to any, Tom, Dick, and Joe. You know what I'm saying? How are we gonna make women feminine again, but they have to provide? How are we gonna make women submissive again if they have to provide? Right? I think the last scripture I had was 1 Corinthians 11:3. Okay. Because as leaders and heads, husbands, they have to reflect, they have to see themselves as, they have to reflect as Christ. Christ is their head. There's an order to this. Just like you were saying, Sister Tavana, we're a reflection of that man. It says, if your wife going on, look at yourself. Going off, look at yourself. If your wife is exuding happiness, well, I wonder why. A lot of the times they say if she got that glow on her face, her cheeks just rosy, you know what I'm saying? She must be every night. They're doing something right every night. You know what I'm saying? Wife's always smiling because he treats me good. We are reflection. But yes, and so they're to be reflection of Christ, and Christ took care of us. The Most High provided everything for us. He said, jewels, the clothes that we had, the shoes that didn't wear out in 40 years in the wilderness. He provided all these things for us. The land where we went to, that he put his name on. He provided for us, right? And this is what we should expect. And this is the position we need to put ourselves in as women, not wanting to go toe to toe with the man, be the masculine one and be the, you know.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
In that order. And we refuse to role play around here. We're not role playing around here. Now, what you do in the four corners of your bedroom, the Most High says is undefiled if you're a married man and woman. But other than that, we don't role play around here. You will be the head, you will be provider, and I will be the wife, the prize, the ruby, your crown upon your head, the submissive one. Turn. But all praises, yeah. I just thought this article just brought me back to, how I see it compared to these laws and statutes and how it could make us reflect on, our roles, okay, as men and as women here. Because we do have role. What does it look like? What does the woman's role look like? What place is she supposed to be in? And let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's slow roll this thing because I never seen so many people try to get married so much in my life until I came into the truth. Everybody want a wife now. Everybody want 2, 3, 4, 5 wife now. You know. But what did you do to get to that point? Did you do the work? Did you do the work? That's on both sides. What work are you doing? Who grass you done mow? Who lawn you done till? You know, you come in and you knocking on my father door talking about you want to marry me. I never see you work a day in my life. You mean where we going? Because me don't want to live in no tent until we in the wilderness.
Yeah, I just want to precept the last two parts of that article. The last sentence you had brought it out earlier says, no man can properly, I don't know if you read this one. No man can properly love, lead, and protect a woman if he sees himself as the prize and not the guardian of the prize. And so the scripture I wanted to read on that was Sirach 36:25 that says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. And then I have to keep flipping back the article. The last part says, what I'm teaching you, this is what the brother's saying at the end of the article, what I'm teaching you is the greatest form of health, ! So I wanted to bring out Sirach 26:1 that says, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
You see how it's just a match made in pure heaven when we align where we're supposed to be? And seeing us as women now, because a lot of our men don't know these things or they don't want to apply it. But you now have a say. Remember the saying you have we have a lot of, what do you call it? We have a say on who we let, inside the cookie jar. We have the say. Okay. We have a say on who we let inside our houses, inside our lives. Okay. If it ain't lining up with the scripture, why let them in? Get yourself together. Shoot, I need to get myself together. Can't let you in my house yet. It ain't clean in here. That's the analogy I'm going to put. I can't let you in this apartment because it's not clean. I need to go do some stuff before I let you in. And when I say clean, I mean spiritually, mentally, physically. I'm still dealing with some stuff. I just did a rib tip the other day, a rib tip just to try it out. And it was just talking about the fact that you need to let go of some stuff. Damn, I just got over a relationship a month ago. I'm not ready to let you in yet. I can't mentally submit to somebody when I just waking up today. I ain't ready to be a wife. And if I don't even clean my apartment. How am I ready to be a wife? I don't even clean my own apartment. I gonna come clean your house? No. You got to prepare yourself. Each side, he got to prepare himself and get a 9 to 5 or working on his own business or something to show and prove. Hamashiach gave blood for Israel. He gave blood for Israel. The book say the husband will give his life, like Christ gave his life. The husband will give his life. So how are you stepping? How are we having these men step to us? Our praises. Well, with that being said, come back and see us same time, same place, same beauty.
It's our
Chase Miss
duty.
is our
It's our duty.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, ladies.
All praise to the Most High. The Water Sisters.